Never would have paid it. Is this what y'all do in the church?
Y'all already know what time it is. I got the black V-neck on.
What's going on, y'all? We got to talk about this Marvin Sapp situation with him locking them folks up in the church and making them pay. I saw this video and all you can do is laugh because this is what it is giving. And I'm glad that he let the Spirit use him in this moment. So Marvin Sapp recently had a church service and sister let the Spirit use him. And he used them words to raise some money. He locked the doors, told the ushers, locked the doors. He was dead serious. Like the way he said that, he was very serious in that moment. And you can tell, we couldn't see by the video, but we can tell the way he responded that they didn't know if he was serious. But here's a clip.
There's 1,000 of you. I said, close them doors. Ushers, close the doors. Close the doors. Close the doors. We all gonna leave together. Y'all ain't going no place but to the restaurant. There's 1,000 of you tonight. And those that are watching, it's 1,000 that's watching online. This is a small seed. If I get 1,000 online to give this, if I get 1,000 in the sanctuary to give this, that's $40,000 tonight. I'm challenging each of you all down here to give a $20 seed.
So you can just tell that the congregation wasn't necessarily following him until he was very stern in it. And he kind of was very hard in the beginning. Then he kind of leveled out and made jokes. I'm going to tell y'all, if you pay attention to how he spoke, he told you so much. And I know this is funny. Like, this is hilarious to me because people don't understand that a lot of these folks know how to use their mouths to get folks to do certain things. And I think folks need to understand that sometimes it's not about the Spirit or whatever using them. These people have a way of words. I don't care what your religious belief is and all of that. People have a way of words and the way they speak, even me, which is why you have to question some things. You have to ask questions because how he acted in that moment told you everything. When he told that story about his late wife and how they went on dates when he was younger, that he would use the $20 to pay for the food, the drink, and the movie ticket.
I think $20 is a lot of money. $20, believe it or not, when my late wife, Melinda P. Sapp, was alive, was a good date. I could take her to the movies, buy a box of popcorn, get one soda, 2 straws. I wasn't cheap, that's swag. I was looking in her eyes, she's looking in mine.
He already told you something in that story is that he knows how to make things work. He knows how to, he said, I was smooth. He's smooth right now in this moment. In this moment of him getting folks to pay this $40,000 that he's trying to raise, he's smooth with it. And if you catch it, you'll know. But I want to say a lot of other stuff. And I might have to take this over to Patreon because I know some folks might be a little bit sensitive towards this when we talk about religion and these type of practices when it comes to these things. But a lot of these folks abuse these practices and these systems. And we have to be honest about that. How he talked to his congregation, how he talked to folks and said, no, we got to make this work. We're going to do this. He told the folks it costs to be up here. What type of cost are we talking about? He told them, no, you can't do the $20. You can do $1,000. There were so many ways that he could have addressed this. Hey, we're trying to raise $40,000. I know it's a lot going on in these times and stuff, but we got to raise $40,000. And even if we can't, I want you all to give what you all have. Like they do it all the time. They do it all the time. But he was mad. There was a level of him being upset and the audacity. No, close. Y'all ain't gonna do nothing but go out to eat. That was not, to me, that's not the spirit that folks speak of. That was not that. That was another type of spirit. The spirit of greed, if we're being honest. And people cannot tell because how folks are able to use words and mix religion in that. And that's what Marvin Sapp was doing. There was nothing about that was even quote unquote professional for Christian standards or that, like how he talked to them. That whole setup was just nasty to talk to your congregation like that, to make them pay $20, to say, hey, y'all not leaving. Like, he wasn't even giving them the ability to pass the collection plate, to do it. And hey, like, I don't want to walk up there and not have anything and not have no cash. The way he told them that they were not going to pass the collection plate, they're going to have to walk and face him, like this shame that was created in this moment, that you're going to come up here and you got to look me in the face and tell me that you don't have it. And that is some sick stuff. Like, it's giving cult. It's giving cult. And I need folks to see that, like, how he was in that moment. He was very adamant about that. We're not going to have y'all pass and do what you need to do. I need to see it. He wanted to see it. The way he acted, you would have thought he was a door-to-door salesman. You would have thought he was a snake oil salesman, the way he moved and the way he talked. It was just, it was a fine line between it, how he spoke to them, how he was trying to caress them out of their pockets. Like, he was locking them in. And yes, they can leave. They have the ability to leave, but do they have the ability to leave? This whole ordeal, to me, reminds me of Midnight Mass. And I've been wanting to review that series on Netflix. If you've not seen it, check it out. I probably will, because this really invoked something in me, because when I've shown and told people to watch Midnight Mass, and if you know the show and how it ends, and what was revealed, and people did not want to leave the congregation. Like, they saw something, and how the pastor or bishop or preacher was able to describe it made folks see something that, had it been whatever, they would have turned away, but they didn't turn away. They saw something that has been described to them as something else, but the pastor used words to be able to make them believe in something, even though they're looking at it and they're seeing something that is clearly demonic. But the way the pastor has been able to preach these things and use the teachings and stuff to persuade this congregation to believe in this thing, even though they, with their mind, they're not using that. And that's what's happening right now. He's praying on that. He has the ability to speak to him because he is a public figure. He is the pastor. He has authority in this moment. He speaks from the word of God. So he is the person who can speak on these things. So he cannot be telling you wrong. He cannot be telling you wrong. When I'm telling you is truth, like, you have to do that. So it makes folks feel like they have to do that. They have to participate, because God would not steer this person to do this to me and wrong, like any type of wrong to me. But a person is very capable of still doing wrong, no matter how close they are to God. And we should be using our common sense to be able to decipher that. And sometimes we cannot, because they have made it so murky. And that's what Marvin Sapp is doing. I don't care about speaking ill of the church. Y'all know that. I don't care about speaking ill of Marvin Sapp. He should be apologizing to his congregation because of that. The way he talked to these folks like they were less than, and made them feel and tried to coerce them to come out of their pockets like that. It's always usually been, hey, give what you can. If you got some, a couple of dollars, but to tell folks that you have a goal, $20. And I'm asking, what has Marvin Sapp sacrificed while you're asking these folks to do these things? Because you've been doing this for a minute. You have a successful music career or something, if I'm not mistaken. What sacrifice have you made? Because can you go and maybe put away some of these prized possessions to raise that money? And folks will say, oh, well, he's done that before. Okay, then he needs to be doing something. He needs to be putting on a prayer cap and getting closer to the connection. Maybe he's using AOL dial-up. Maybe his stuff ain't as connected as it needs to be. But that ain't making no sense to me, to be talking to a congregation and making them feel as though they have to do it. Because even when they do it in the subtle way of passing the collection and all of that, it's still some version of that. But this version was very strong, and it was in your face. And it was clear that the congregation did not have the ability to consent to say no. And he took away that right by closing the doors, by telling the ushers to close the door, to the point that the people who are following him, who are leading him, who he's in charge of, closed. They even had to question it in their moment, like, is this right? Is this right for us to close these doors? And if somebody would have got up and walked out or got up, they would have been shamed. That's what that was. He created shame in this scenario to get the best possible outcome for him in his favor. Like, y'all talk about favor. Like, this is why people are leaving the church, have been leaving the church, finding other things to practice. This is why they have so many questions, because figures like him. And Marvin Sapp is not by himself. It's all types. We just saw, when was it, about a year or so ago, that preacher that was up north, or bishop, whatever, who was doing scamming stuff and buying Benzes and stuff with the church's money and pretending like somebody came in there and robbed him. Like, these folks have been doing scamming stuff. It's not nothing new. It's something I even know from being from Memphis, Tennessee. These pastors and preachers and bishops and stuff, a lot of them be very much false. And I don't want to say it's a one in a apple situation. It's a lot of them, and we need to be honest about that. This is what turns the folks off. This is what makes people not come to the church. Like, this is that type of mentality. Marvin Sapp just said the quiet part out loud. He did it in a very visible way where you cannot say that that's not his intention. But people involved in this will still find a way to excuse that type of behavior. People will still find a way, but everybody else is looking like this is not how it's supposed to be, because they're more disconnected. You're not going to find too many folks who are going to speak ill on him because of them being in church. I'm telling y'all how these folks it be giving cult. It be giving cult. And we be acting as if we cannot be involved in that, or we're not. It's very easy for us to be. Anybody that's living in America who believe that we need to stand in front of a flag, it gives a version of that. Like, how we respect the flag and all that other stuff. Like, how me even saying this past weekend that I did not want to be buried with a American flag over my casket or any. When I pass away, I do not want the VA to do anything but give my mom and dad or whoever a check. That's it. Give me the folks, whoever my beneficiary is, the money, period. Or donate it to a cause that I believe in, that I will believe in 100%. But I do not want no flag on my body. I do not get that off the TV. I don't put in. As a matter of fact, I don't want no flag. I got no flag in my house. I am not a proud soldier. Yes, I do get a disability check every month, and y'all better send it to me, period. But I don't believe in any of that. Keep that mess off of me. But seeing this, Marvin Sapp, and how he spoke to his congregation in this moment, it was just very questionable. Like, and people have been wondering what is going on, like, with folks leaving the church. And honestly, I say it's a lot of folks leaving, but there's a lot of people joining, and you're going to see a lot more people join the church because of the financial situations that are happening right now. As people continue to be pushed further and further into poverty, you're going to see people be more religious and cling to that. Like, that's just what's going to happen. That's human nature, to seek some type of understanding and some type of protection. So I do not blame these people for doing it, because it is hard to question these things and to believe some of this stuff. Like, girl, there is nothing out here protecting us. That's a very hard stance to take for a lot of folks, but I do it. Like, I do it. And I'm not dragging anybody for doing what they need to do to whatever. Do you, sister, especially as a black person. Not. But I want folks to question things. And the way Marvin Sapp moved in that moment took away the ability for folks to consent and question. He locked the doors. Like, he could have just, he didn't even have to say that, but the fact that he did. The fact that he didn't even have to say that, because I don't think people, when it comes to that, they're not disrespectful like that. They wouldn't have got up in the middle of that. But he took away their ability to consent. He zero as much as possible as he could. And folks responded on social media saying they would have walked out, they would have left. No, you wouldn't have. A lot of y'all, no shade, you wouldn't have, because that psychological thing on our brains, you would have sat down. That herd mentality. Once you are in that, you would have got up. Like, and it's no shade. There are a lot of folks who saying that who do not even stick up for folks who are calling to be on strike or speak up about something that has happened on the job. Like, I ain't gonna lose my job. Like, that stuff is still there. So you saying you would have got up does not make you better than the people who were sitting there and didn't get up. It does not make you better. I don't know why folks, well, I would have got up. Yeah, for a lot of these folks who were reacting to it online said they would have got up. I guarantee you I can take you and look throughout your shit, and I bet you it's a time where you did not get up, where you chose to sit down. We do it. And we need to stop acting as if this is something that is exclusive to a group of people. We're all vulnerable in some way, shape, or form to these things. Like, there is no special person to do these things. It's just people who have power who take advantage of situations like this. And that is exactly what Marvin Sapp did. I need folks to be honest about that. That's all I got. I ain't gonna get into it too much. I'm gonna save it for Patreon. Tell me what you think. Make sure you like and subscribe to this video if this is your first time. Until next time, talk y'all later. Bye.